Okay, I'm really looking forward to doing this review, guys. I first learned about this next game we're about to review here. I learned about it many years ago. Growing up as a kid, I had my PS1. I remember popping in a game called Namco Museum Classic Collection Volume 3. I was going down the list there, you know, your regular suspects. You had Miss Pac-Man on that game. You had Galaxian, I believe, was another one, pole position. And then I came across this game, Phozon, for the multiple arcade machine emulator. And so I popped it in. I played the first on the, like I said, the Namco Classic Collection. I loved it, and now we're reviewing the actual arcade port of the game with my MAME emulator. So, as you can kind of already figure out what we're doing here, there's no real plot to the game. You're just replicating shapes that are in the middle of the screen. So, right. So basically, the CPU is already these levels are predetermined. You know, telling you this is what you have to go build, and you want to do it obviously as quickly as possible. Excuse me. And if you have extra pieces, or usually if you have extra pieces or they're in the wrong place, you have to get rid of those. Again, as quickly as possible. And I say as quickly as possible because you see those balloons there floating around kind of somewhat retardedly. Yeah, you want to go ahead and avoid those things. And those are no good. Those are no good for anybody. Those will kill you. I mean, one touch of them and they will kill you. So, yeah, be careful with those stupid things. You avoid them, you should be okay. So, now, one thing I can really appreciate here is that this game is really, I mean, I think, you know, most people have never even heard of this. When I kind of talk classic arcade games with people, I ask them about Phozon. Like, I never even heard of Phozon. That's what they tell me. And you know, interestingly enough, you can see the Namco. I can certainly see it anyway. The Namco element here, because a lot of these early Namco games would have, no matter how bizarre you thought some of the levels were, they'd still have a challenging stage. What I mean by challenging stage, well, you can't really get killed in it, or it's kind of at its worst, it's like a little bit of a different approach to the next level. So like this stage is just another stage, generic stage. My point is that the challenging stage allows you to get additional bonus points, and it's a nice break from kind of doing the same old thing. So you'll see, you're not going to really understand until I actually show it to you. You're thinking, well, how in the world can you do a challenging stage in this game? You can, actually. You can. And so that's going to be coming up momentarily here. So, yeah, that's kind of a nice little nuance thing that goes on. And you get multiple challenging stages just like in a Galaga or just like in a Rally X or kind of game. So, again, showing off that Namco element here. It's not just generic level after generic level after generic level. So, you do have opportunities to rack up bonus points. Always helps. So, and I'm just about to pass here. Yeah. Felt good to pass that one. Yeah, so many pieces you had to connect there. So, let's go to the challenging stage. I get my points. And that's World 1. World 1 is finished. So we're in the challenging stage now. And so you might be wondering what's going on in the challenging stage. Interestingly enough, it is just like Galaga. I mean, you have to actually shoot down your enemy, those balloons. You get points for doing that. And this was, again, the first time I even made it to this challenging stage. It was incredibly bizarre. But again, a great opportunity to really rack up the points, especially if you're playing this in an arcade. So I definitely appreciate seeing that element preserved throughout these Namco games. Even in a game as seemingly obscure to us Americans as Phozon. So, again, very cool game. I didn't really do too much. I didn't fare too much better after this round, but hey, at least I broke 10,000 points, which is, to be honest, probably the highest I've ever gotten on this game. Just because it is so damn challenging. But I highly advise you guys to check this out. Again, it's a sweet puzzle game. Everyone thinks of Tetris when you think of arcade puzzle games or any type of puzzle video game. The first thing that seems to come to most people's minds would be Tetris. But I gotta be honest with you, this is a nice little alternative to Tetris. It certainly makes you think. It makes you think about how things kind of attach and what the best strategy is to avoid your enemy on the way to, and kind of figuring out how you're going to float around in order to replicate that shape in the center. So, yeah, go check it out, guys. I highly recommend. I'm going to go ahead and give this game a 4 out of 5. So that's going to be my official review of Phozon. for the multiple arcade machine emulator. Stick around for more great classic arcade game reviews, guys. So long. It'll be Tim the Gamer 13 signing off for now. Stay tuned for more great reviews.